Welcome to TA in 5, technical assistance in 5 minutes or less with Equipped. And today's topic is feedback. Feedback is a commonly misused term in education in general, but I'm going to break it down into something that we can use. We'll talk about what it is, why it's important, and some examples. With young children, think about feedback as giving verbal or physical assistance to what they're cognitively doing. Okay, that's a heavy phrase. Let's break it down. Feedback essentially is what a teacher says or does in response to the learner. So, why is it important? The biggest reason is that it shows children we're listening. It shows we're paying attention to what they do, say, and think. And ultimately, we're interested in seeing them be a part of the classroom community. It shows that we care, and building relationships and trust is the first step to teaching. Feedback is actually the primary tool for how we teach. What's important is the kind of feedback you receive has a direct impact on how much you're learning and how you're applying it. So think about it like an assignment in school. If you have a teacher mark some questions wrong, assign you an F without any more information, the chances you do better next time are pretty slim. But let's say the same teacher gives you some comments about what you did well or what you could think about next time. It's much more likely the concept will stick and you can even begin applying it in some new situations. That's why it's most important for feedback to be specific. Specific about what the child's trying to do. You can have a conversation with the children about their work, push them in their thinking process, and it needs to be relevant. Helpful feedback uses concrete words that stretch children to problem solve, brainstorm, or connect what they're doing in the moment to things that they know in real life. Feedback is how we add information to children's language and provide hints and strategies to encourage their success. So let's look at this in real life. If we look at what this child's working on and consider possible feedback, it looks as if she's stirring something, maybe salt in a cup of water. I see what looks like salt on the paper. I'm not sure what she's stirring with, but I also see some toothpicks. I'm making some assumptions based on what I'm seeing, but in the classroom, feedback really starts with your own curiosity as an educator. This is more than just asking a child what they're doing. It's really about getting them to explain their thinking. What were you thinking about when you decided to put the salt in the water? How did you decide to stir the water? Feedback can get a child to explain, which is very different from them just telling us what they're doing. Feedback is also going to provide information or tie things to what children know in their real life experiences. Talking about how salt dissolves in water, but the temperature or how hot or cold the water is can make it easier or harder to dissolve. Adding on to what they're doing is going to stretch them to connect concepts. I also want to touch on positive encouragement. It's part of feedback, but it's not just about giving praise. I can say that you are so smart, but without tying it to the action in the moment, it's just saying someone's smart. What's important is making sure the specific, concrete, connecting conversations are part of that praise. You're so smart. You're stirring the salt in the water because you remembered how things dissolve from our experiments last week. So to wrap it up, feedback is how we respond, and how we give feedback can maximize learning. Keep it specific, concrete, genuine, and related to the children's work. And above all, know that genuine feedback is one of the most important tools in your toolbox, not just for learning concepts, but for children to know their work is important, interesting, and respected. That's it for today's TA in 5 with Equipped. Hope to see you soon.